Hello children, a very warm welcome to the virtual session again. So let us see what we are going to do today. As we have finished with the chapter force and pressure, let us see before we go ahead with new topics, let us have some revision session for the chapter force and pressure, so that some concept which were not clear with you, or some reinforcement can be done, so formulae can be, you can recap. We have done numericals, that all we can recap and will make your concepts clear. And if you have missed some notes also, you can write it down, children. But just I want to tell you one thing before I begin with the revision session. If you have taken down points earlier in your session, in the regular session of learning this chapter force and pressure, you are not going to write anything again. You just go through the video, listen to the video, see the, you please watch the picture shown, the diagram shown. Please watch it carefully, listen carefully. That will be a recap, will be a reinforcement, will be a recall of all the concepts which you have learned. So please do not write anything again. It's just a revision session we are going to begin today. We will have more revision session for this chapter, because we have numericals and all that to discuss. So let us begin with revision 1 of force and pressure. Here we have learned already. I am just discussing with you what is force. A force is a push or a pull, or both. A force cannot be seen, but we can feel and observe the effects of the force. So force is a push or a pull. That means if you go to a shopping mall and you want a trolley, so you will give a pull towards yourself. So you have to apply a force. That is, you are pushing, you are pulling towards yourself. So you are giving a force. You need a force to pull it towards yourself. And then when you are shopping at various counters and various places in the shopping mall, then you have to push your trolley. Again, that push is a force. So whether you are pulling a trolley towards yourself or pushing a trolley ahead of you, both of them require a force. So force is a push or a pull. A force cannot be seen. Obviously, you can feel and observe the effect of the force, and you can see the effect of the force. When you are pulling it, pulling the trolley, it will come towards you. When you are pushing it, it will go away. So you can see the effect of the force. We are going to learn all this. We have already learned. We will just have a recap. So what is a push? A force to move an object away from our bodies. So that was clear with you. You with the help of the trolley example in the shopping mall, a force to move an object away from a body, like a trolley. You are pushing a trolley, making it move ahead of you. So you are just away from you. Pull, you want to take a trolley, you are going to pull it towards yourself. So a pull is when we apply force to move an object towards a body. So, and sometimes it is combination. Sometimes you are pulling and pushing the trolley for shopping. There can be a combination of both. Here we have some example of push and pull together. Playing a guitar, sawing wood, scrubbing the floor, rowing a boat. Both combination of push and pull is used over here. So here we have some example of force. Pressing the switch, you need a force. Kicking a ball, force required. Launching a rocket, a very high magnitude of force needed here. Knocking a nail, yes, definitely need a force. Pushing trolley in the shopping mall or supermarket. So here you have examples which shows that you require force in your day-to-day activities, and what for, where all we use force. So now here, tug of war, yes. Raising a flag, pulling a box, opening the door, drawing a back a bow. So all these will require force. What is a force then? When a push or pull is applied to an object, it is called force. A force can change the state of an object from rest to motion, or vice versa. Means what? A force can change the state of an object. There are two states of an object. An object can be at rest, or an object can be in motion. So you can bring a change in both. Suppose you have a notebook on your table. You want notebook is at rest. So you want to shift it to another place. You applied a force and you shifted to another place. You had bring the change by applying a force. You have brought a change in the state of rest of the notebook to motion. Like moving car is in motion, in a state of motion. You can bring a change. You can apply a brake, that is also a force. You apply a brake and you bring the car to rest. So this is how you can change the state. A car in motion, you can bring it to rest by applying a brake, that is a force. Or you can accelerate the car to that is also a force we apply. And then you can bring a state of the car is in rest, you can bring the state of rest in motion. So this is how a force can change the state of an object from rest to motion, or from motion to rest. To let force come into play, two or more objects must interact with each other. Definitely, when you are picking a notebook, there is an interaction between you and your notebook. Though notebook is a non-living thing, but there is an interaction that you are picking it up. So there is interaction between two objects. Then only force can come into play. Here we have an example here. Interaction of one object on another object results in force between the two objects. If a man stands behind a car, the car does not move. If he pushes the car, he applies force, and the car begins to move in the direction of the applied force. So there is an interaction. If a man is just standing behind the car will not move. There has to be interaction between the car and the man, then he will be able, then you can say applying force, and the car begins to move in the direction of the applied force. Here you have some example of force. Here interaction also you can see, playing a football or a hockey or a cricket. Here you have interaction between the objects. Now you see the characteristic of force, very important, extremely important. I have discussed with you all in the previous session. Listen to this carefully, children. When two forces act on a body in the same direction, please mark this, the net force is the sum of the two forces. Definitely, two forces, you and your friend applying on a box, that net force will act on a box, and the box will move, a heavy box will move very fast. Then if you are the only one applying a force on a heavy box, it will take more time and more effort for you to shift that box. But you have one more friend, then F1 plus F2, that will be the net force on the box, and the box will move faster, you can shift it faster. Similarly, next one, if two forces act on a body in opposite direction, the net force is the difference between the two forces. Now suppose you call your friend and you have to shift, but then you all don't know, the friend by mistake he stood on the opposite side of the box, and you stood on this side, and he on the opposite side. Both are applying force there, that force will act oppositely. Then the net force will be F2 minus F1. What will happen then? Instead of shifting the box, there will be a war between the two forces. One, you will push from here this side, your friend will push it from the other side. So there will be a net force will be given by the difference of the two forces. And if you have equal force, then the net force will become zero there. Then there will be no movement of the box, and it will remain there only. The effect on the object depend on the net force acting on it. Definitely. Here you can see, resultant force is the sum of two forces. You can move the box faster, better. Two forces acting together, here oppositely acting. So it depends now, where the force is applied more, box will be shifted accordingly in the opposite direction. But if the force equal on the opposite direction, then the net force will become zero, and there will be no movement there of that box. Some characteristic of force which we have already taken down in the notebook, children. You just need to listen to this. The force always has a direction in which it is applied and a measure of its strength or magnitude. So it has a magnitude, means it has some magnitude, some numerical values. Force has a direction as well. It will have a direction, that is extremely important. The effect of a force may alter when the direction of the magnitude of force is changed. What will happen? The effect of force can be changed when the direction of the magnitude of the force is changed. So when you are changing the direction of the magnitude of the force, the effect will also can be changed. The effect of more than one force is being applied on the object is calculated by evaluating the net force acting on that object. Definitely. If you have three friends pushing a heavy box together, the net force will be F1 plus F2 plus F3 like that. So it is a net force acting on that heavy box. If two forces are acting upon each other having equal magnitude and in opposite direction, then the net force acting on the object will be 0. Just now I explain here, see this, in the opposite direction but equal magnitude with equal force on the opposite direction, the net force will become 0 and the box will remain as it is. Force can bring different effects to an object, position, shape and size. So it can bring different effects. It can bring change in position, change in size and change in shape. Definitely. So how you calculate the force acting? Here you have a formula we have discussed, and over here force acting pushing a truck, you can see the truck moves to the right, so it has a direction. This example, this picture shows that force has a direction. If you are pushing it towards right, it will go towards right. If you're pushing it towards left, the toy car will move towards left. So how you calculate the SI unit? First of all, you need to know the international standard unit of force is Newton, which is denoted by capital N. And the formula to calculate force is mass into F is equal to M into A. That is, force is equal to mass into acceleration. So a force applied to a mass of a given a force applied to an object of a given mass into the acceleration, which has to be taken into account, that gives you the force. So F is force, mass of the object M, and A is the acceleration. You need to remember this formula is extremely important, children. Thank you, and we will continue with the revision session of force and pressure. I hope the concepts are clear and points which you have already written in the notebook. You are not going to write anything again, children. Thank you and have a wonderful day.